Natasha Tran, and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'll be hosting a special segment today called DFTBN. Don't forget to be nerdy. Today, we have a special guest, Dr. Erica Lee, who will be talking to us about pertussis today, better known as whooping cough, not to be confused with Whoopi Goldberg.
Hi, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for joining us. So, Dr. Lee, could you start us off by explaining what whooping cough is?
Whooping cough is a disease caused by Bordetella pertussis and is highly contagious. B. pertussis is a small bacteria between 0.5 and 1 micrometers. Also, it's from the Eubacteria kingdom and is rod-shaped or cucurbitacillus. The reason that it's called whooping cough is that it causes uncontrollable coughing that is followed by a sharp intake of breath that resembles a whip sound.
Fascinating. I didn't know that, but I do know that it's highly contagious. Are there any ways people can prevent getting whooping cough?
The best way to prevent pertussis is to get vaccinated, both adults and children. The youngest age at which you can get this vaccination is 2 months old, and once someone catches B. pertussis, it's hard to tell because the early symptoms are a lot like this common cold. However, if you do get it, you can treat whooping cough with the antibiotic erythromycin, best at the beginning. There's a point where it cannot reverse the damage done, but you should still take it to keep the disease from spreading.
So, if you don't catch it early enough, what happens?
B. pertussis stops the cilia from doing their job, which makes mucus build up and triggers the coughing. Thus, the patient has to wait out the experience with the coughing until the lining of the respiratory system is replaced with cells that have functional cilia. Eventually, the disease will pass and the antibiotics will kill any lingering bacteria.
Speaking of the symptoms, you mentioned they were a lot like the common cold. What exactly are the symptoms? There are a few days where there aren't any symptoms at all, right?
Well, that's correct. There's a period of time that lasts 7 to 14 days after inhalation of the bacteria that has no symptoms. However, following this brief period of time, the patient will often be fatigued, lacking in appetite, and constantly sneezing. In addition to this, he or she will also have a runny nose and watery eyes.
Wow, that just sounds like the symptoms of a common cold. So, how do people know that they do have whooping cough?
Oh yes, I was just getting to that. This period of cold-like symptoms, deemed the catharo stage, lasts around 10 to 14 days and is then followed by a period of 2 to 4 weeks called the paroxysmal stage. During this stage, mucus in the lungs becomes much thicker, and as a result, the victim's body must strain itself even further to clear the mucus and to get oxygen.
That must make it even harder for children since they aren't as strong as adults. There's a vaccination for everyone though. So why does the disease still affect developing countries the way it does? Is whooping cough prevalent in the modern times with the vaccinations and medication that we have today?
Surprisingly, even with our modern-day technology and medical practices, in 2008, almost 18 million cases of pertussis occurred worldwide. However, the main reason for the numbers being so high is that the medication for pertussis and vaccinations have not yet diffused to developing countries. As a result, over 95% of these cases have occurred in LDCs around the world, according to the World Health Organization. However, on the upside, 82% of children around the world do get the vaccination, which has saved the lives of an estimated 687,000 kids. Sadly, not all of the kids get the vaccination again as the disease mutates, and as a result, over 195 children die yearly of pertussis.
Wow, those are some stunning statistics. Is pertussis found in a specific climate or region of the world? And how is it able to be transmitted so easily? Is it normally found in the human body?
It is not especially prominent in a certain region or climate, but it can naturally be found in the human respiratory tract. It is spread through contact with an infected mucus or droplets of other parts of the respiratory system like the nose and throat. As a result, pertussis can quickly become dominant in a region after one person catches it because it is so contagious.
That's some great information there. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for this short lesson on pertussis, Dr. Lee.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for letting me be here today.